Hi, everybody. I'm Randy Arrington, and welcome to episode 104 of Page Valley Livin'. And folks, we have got a special episode here for you tonight. Usually, I don't wear a tie when I'm talking about sports, but we're talking about history tonight. We're talking about chasing some hoops history with senior Matthew Owens here at Luray High School and Mr. Craig Tutt. Some of you might know him as Mr. Tutt. He was the principal out at Springfield for a while, and now you are at Luray Elementary, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And but we're going to talk about back in the day. 33 years ago,
33
Mr.
years.
Tutt. Yeah. And we're going to talk about his playing days and a record that he had for 1,482 points. Well, we're probably getting down to a matter of hours that record is going to stand after 33 years when the Bulldogs are on the road tomorrow at Rappahannock. We're going to talk about making hoops history when we come back in a few moments after a word from our sponsor.
Whispering Pines Assisted Living is now accepting new admissions. Quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, memory support, and short-term respite stays are all offered by Whispering Pines Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, where home and heart meet. Call for a tour today on Leakesville Road in Luray or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com.
Welcome back, everybody, here to Luray High School Gymnasium. We're here with Matthew Owens, Craig Tutt, and we are filming episode 104 on Monday, February the 2nd. And by the end of February 3rd, we may be looking at a new all-time scoring leader for boys basketball at Luray High School. To my left is Craig Tutt, who set the record 33 years ago with 1,482 points. And to my right, the man who's had a pretty big fall and winter here so far, Matthew Owens, a senior forward here for, senior guard, for the Bulldogs, who is 13 points away. And tonight, the Bulldogs will travel to Rappahannock. Are you nervous about going over there and taking on the Panthers?
Yeah, it's definitely a different gym to play in because like kind of smaller.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we play our ball, we should be all right.
Well, I'll tell you, you've been kind of a popular man on campus here the last few months. You committed verbally to James Madison University Division I program back in October. You guys are off to a great, I believe, 12-3 start. I believe you're in a three-way tie for second place in the Bull Run, 6-2 in the district, 12-3 overall. Kind of an amazing time, isn't it?
Yes, sir, for sure. It's been a great time. You know, we're just enjoying the last few months we got with the guys and just coming out here every day and working hard and just playing on the court together and having fun.
What age were you when you started playing basketball?
Probably before I can even remember. My parents told me I was always shooting basketball in my little Tyson suit when I was little, so I mean, before I can even hardly comprehend.
When you were shooting in that hoop, could you ever imagine that your senior season would have risen to a crescendo that it has?
Not really. It's really a blessing and a lot of hard work and people in my life that have really got me there, for sure.
We're going to talk more about that, what got you to the level you're at in the second segment. We're going to talk about your commitment to JMU and the fact that you're not backing out of that verbal agreement in this day of all of these, like with Mississippi calling up the guy at Clemson. Yep. That's not happening, right?
No,
all right, good. We don't need any of that. But I want to talk a little bit. I want to turn the page back 33 years ago. You graduated from Luray High School in 1993. You would go on to play at Bridgewater College, but let's go back to breaking the record. Do you happen to remember when it happened?
Yes, I know exactly when it happened. It was during our regional semifinal game against Prince Edward High School.
Prince Edward.
Yeah,
you know I'm originally from Farmville.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, we were playing them at U-Haul. That's back when they had all the area games at U-Haul from the regionals on. So. In the
playoffs, did they stop the game or anything? Was it playoffs and they didn't?
They don't care about that stuff at that level. I guess.
Right, I got you. But I know, what was it like? I mean, to set that record. I mean, there have been some legendary state championship basketball teams here at Luray High School. How did you feel to be at the top of that heap?
Yeah, it was interesting. My father's Arthur Billings, who also has 1,000 points.
Wow.
And just kind of being around him growing up and hearing all the stories about Gene Fry and Bobby Brown and Jimmy Arrington, whose record I broke. They talked about Gene Fry being probably the most talented basketball player that they've ever seen in the state of Virginia. I know he was All-State, I think, at one point.
Wow.
They talked about, or he would tell me about how Bobby Brown was probably the best athlete in the area, from football to basketball to baseball to whatever. And these were guys that were a part of a lot of those state championships as well.
Who is the best player you ever played with here as a Bulldog, and who is the best one you ever played against?
Played with? Well, that would probably be, as far as here, a toss-up between my two first cousins, Patrick Porter and Neil Porter. Patrick Porter, it was like playing with Magic Johnson. He could pass that ball anywhere, all over, and see the floor, and he was our 5.
Right,
he was
right.
a big man and could do that. Whereas Neil Porter was the biggest, strongest. I mean, he was All-State in football, but he could shoot the ball, he could pass the rock, could handle it, all of those things. So it was nice to have those two as my teammates growing up.
Now, Neil Porter was recognized last season, I think, at a halftime of a ball game. I don't know if you remember this, and I know your dad posted on Facebook where Neil had gotten his, the jersey and all, the framed jersey and all. Have you met him? Or?
I have met. Actually, today after school, I was walking out and he saw me. He's like congratulating me on the accomplishments and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. And he told me that he's been telling people about me coming up since I was a freshman. So yeah, it's a pretty cool experience for sure.
Wow!
Yeah,
So the guy, he was number 2 on the all-time scoring list. Been talking about you as you were coming up as a freshman.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think a lot of people have. And again, I want to talk more about what got you to this point. But I want to go back to what about maybe other teams in the region when you played, or who do you think was the toughest player you ever played against, who maybe went on to the next level, or if you recall?
I recall Michael Byers.
Okay.
I think he had gotten District Player of the Year my senior year, because I'd had it the 2 previous years. And he went on to play at Old Dominion University.
Okay. Who did he play for in high school?
He played for William Monroe.
William Monroe.
That was always our toughest competition
Really?
Growing up. The funny thing about it is Coach Lyons, and I can't remember the coach from William Monroe, but they had been friends since high school, I believe. So it was always fun to watch those two coach against each other and talk a lot of smack to one another, prior to the game. But they had been longtime friends as well.
Wow.
So,
Let me ask you this, 33 years, that's a long time for a record to stand, but records are meant to be broken, right? So how do you feel now that you got this young man taking the top spot?
Well, no, I'm just kidding. No, it's one of those bittersweet things, right? It's, I've not really been in basketball as much as I was. When you're younger and you're doing it every day and you play every day and you practice every day, and then I coached for 10 years at Paul VI High School and some other places, you kind of get a little bit burnt out. So I kind of lost my touch with basketball. Then I came back here and coached a year at Luray High School, and that's kind of when I started noticing some of the players that were playing AAU and those guys coming up. And then obviously last year, when I was back here in the area with people kind of the murmurs of, hey, things may be changing around here with the record. But I think it's great, that someone's, come in. Like I said, it was 25 years before I was able to do that. But for it to stand that long it's been an honor, for me to hang on to it that long. But it's also an honor to be able to pass that on and know that Luray is still producing some great basketball players that are coming out of here and still getting it done on the court. Yeah,
absolutely. A couple more things before we close out this first segment, Craig, or Mr. Tutt. I still call you Mr. Tutt.
It's all good.
You'll always be my principal, my first principal. So. I want to ask you about, you said you coached at Paul VI. Now, a lot of people may be not familiar with, where is that, where is it located? What kind of talent are we talking about?
Oh, man, that was my first real college, or my first real high school coaching job was there. And that's in the Catholic League outside of D.C.
Okay.
It's in Fairfax, Virginia, but they're in the league with DeMatha, who has coached, the only high school coach that's in the NBA Hall of Fame.
Right.
Coach Wooten there. You've got Bishop O'Connell. You've got McNamara, you've got Gonzaga. These are all schools, St. John's, that are usually a top 20. At least 5 or 6 of them are in the top 20 in the country year after year. We travel and we played against some of those top, elite teams. During my time there, it was a great experience to be a part of that coaching staff and do that work there.
Very good, and watch them go on and play at the collegiate level.
So many kids I could go, oh man, that kid's at Duke, he just played for McNamara, or I coached against him in high school, or a player that we would have that would be going on. We had a kid go play at Stanford at the time, so it was a lot of good stuff.
Well, as we close out here, I want to ask you, 33 years has passed since you set the mark. What do you think, what have you seen change most about basketball and what these players go through today?
Right, well, I feel like the big man is no longer part of basketball.
Okay.
Not that that's a bad thing, but he's become a more universal player on the floor now.
Right.
He's not just running down to the post, taking up room, trying to get rebounds and put it back. He's able to run the floor, handle the ball with the break or the press. He's able to shoot the three, the mid-range,
Right.
but he's also still able to go in and get that.
Right.
And I think just some of just the play itself, we thought we were running up and down the floor, in high school,
Right.
but the game is exponentially faster.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
I think kids are more athletic.
Yeah.
I think now overall, I'm not sure about the whole basketball IQ piece because I see them taking a lot of dumb shots and those kinds of things. When I'm watching TV, I'm like, why are we doing that? But the game is so much more fast paced. They're getting up more shots per game in that same amount of time period than we would have when we were hanging on to the ball for 15, 20 seconds before
Right.
we took a shot.
Right.
That kind of thing. But it's been great to watch basketball evolve. Like one of the things when I was away for so long and then came back and coached, I had to kind of get myself up to speed because it had been about 10 years since I'd coached at the high school
Right,
level,
right.
and just kind of think, what has changed about the game? Where do I need to adapt to make sure I put my players in the best situation for themselves to show their talent and what they can do.
Right. You see these guys play this year?
I have not seen them play yet. I saw them play once last year, and tomorrow will be my first game, and I'm excited to
So
see
you
them
are
play.
traveling to Rappahannock to be there in person.
I am traveling to Rappahannock tomorrow, yes.
That is tomorrow night, I believe, a 7:30 p.m. tip-off at Rappahannock High School. When we come back, we're going to talk with Matthew about his commitment to JMU, the record that's right in front of him, and a big season that's in front of him as well before he heads to Harrisonburg. We'll be back in just a moment after another word from our sponsor.
Hawksbill Assisted Living in Luray is now accepting new admissions. Hawksbill Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, offers quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, and veterans aid and attendance. Come visit Hawksbill Assisted Living, located near the beautiful Hawksbill Greenway in Luray. Call for a tour today or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 104 of Page Valley Living. We are here in the Luray High School Gymnasium talking with Craig Tutt, a record holder as the most points scoring for a boys basketball player at Luray High School with 1,482. And about 24 hours from now, we're going to be tipping off at Rappahannock, right, Matt?
Yes, sir.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Ain't nobody going to keep you from that game, is it?
Had a few ankle rolls, but we're ready to go.
Well, obviously they are not only a district opponent in the Bull Run, but probably the Bulldogs' biggest opponent going into the 1B regionals. I believe you all are still ranked 1 and 2 right now. And what do you think about your shots after the way it went the first time with those guys?
The first time, we played really good team basketball.
Yeah.
Hit shots, moved the ball, so that was really good. But if we play like that, I feel like we're a really good team. And we're just gonna go in there tomorrow. Got a game plan on what we got to do. We know what we have to do to win, and if we just execute that, I think we should have a good shot.
I want you to talk a little bit, and I teased this a little bit in the first segment. Over the years, you've had a lot of coaches. You've played travel ball. You've done open gyms. You've been in the weight room. You've done all sorts of things. What do you think are some of the key components that has brought your game to this level and brought you to this point?
I'd say probably mental toughness would probably be the most. You have days where you feel off, you don't want to work, you're tired, your body's sore, but those are the days where you're really going to make the next step. And that's what I've learned. When I was younger, I didn't have that mental toughness, and my dad had to really coach me through that, my family. And then once I learned that, hey, like you can push through whatever. Like your mind has no limits. Like there's no limits to anything. If you can get past that, like weak and like tired and like sore stuff, and you can get over that and overcome it, you can really become a great player and become the best person you can be.
Outstanding, outstanding. Are there some mentors or coaches out there, maybe other than Matt Huff? We know he's the man, but are there some other maybe travel ball coaches or instructors that have really helped you fine-tune your game over the years?
Top one I can think of is obviously my dad. He's always coached me. He's always took me to the gym, got shots up every single day. And honestly, everybody in my family just always been supportive, known the goals that I've had, and always supported me through the good and the bad days, the good and the bad games. And it's just been a blessing to have these people around me that have just led me to become the best basketball player and person I could be.
I heard Mom has shot a basketball once or twice. Does she give you some tips?
Yes, for sure. I personally,
She's a heck of a player.
Personally, I take her tips more like serious than my dad's because he's. But
He's sitting right over there now.
no, my dad was a really good basketball player too.
Well, obviously, we said you committed in October verbally to James Madison. Coach Bradlin, I believe is his name.
Yes, sir.
Brandlin. I got it here somewhere. But the Dukes, they're struggling a little bit this year, 11-12 overall, 4-7 in the Sun Belt. Spradlin, Coach Preston Spradlin, actually had a good season in his first year at Madison last year. They had a share of the Sun Belt title. Are you keeping in communication with him, or is he kind of just letting you enjoy this senior ride, or what's that been like?
Oh yeah, we talk a lot. He's a great coach, great guy, just on and off the court. But he came to our Page game, and he was there. I talked to him after the game. He gave me some things I have to improve on to be the best player I can be there, and told me some things I did well. So yeah, we talk all the time. We've called, we've texted, we've done all that. So it's really nice to know that I have a coach that believes in me and knows what I'm capable of.
Did you know he was going to be at the Page game?
I did know that he was going to be at the Page game, yes.
Is that why you chalked up 33?
A part of the reason, maybe. Yeah.
That was a pretty good game there that night. And now you guys are getting ready to go on a stretch here, 6 games in 10 days. That is what winter has done to our schedule. You're going to Rappahannock on Tuesday. The very next day you host Central. Then on Friday you host Strasburg. On Monday you host Madison. On Tuesday you're at Stonewall. And then Thursday night, the rivalry game with Page will end up the regular season. How do you think the team is looking right now as we're on the precipice of the postseason? How are you looking?
I feel like right now we're locked in. We know we don't have many days left, and we're just cherishing these moments together and just going into these next, 6 games, and then possibly, however we do in the postseason, we're just going in, taking it one game at a time and just locking in every single day, not just in the games but in practice, and just coming together as a team and playing the best basketball we can play.
Looking back, if 33 years from now you're looking back, what do you want people to remember about you as a student athlete here at Luray High School?
I just want to remember it as, first of all, like a man of faith. Obviously, I take my faith seriously in Jesus Christ. And then the second thing, just a great person off the court and a great basketball player on the court who did the right things and, just played basketball.
Outstanding. Mr. Tutt, I noticed here at the end of practice as they were finishing up, Coach Huff got you out there and got the team huddled up. He told them a little about your accolades there, and then you had a few words for the team.
Yeah.
What did you say to them?
Well, it's kind of like what he was just mentioning around cherishing. I talked a lot about remember these moments, right? Because you're going to look back when you and your buddies check in 10, 20, 30 years from now, you're going to go right back to these moments that brought you all together. And how a lot of this discipline and hard work, on the basketball court leads to things later in life.
Yeah.
I equated some of that work here to what I do now as a principal, and having that work ethic and that sort of thing, and that relationship building and being able to try to get a bunch of people together as a team, right, and work hard, through that kind of thing. So that's what I talked with them about.
Well, very good words to part of them. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I know you had to travel in. Good luck traveling to Rappahannock tomorrow night. Take it with a grain of salt. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Matt, hey, thanks so much for being with us today. Glad you got your foul shots in there before we started the interview. This young man wanted to jump right in, and I said, no, get the reps in. I don't want to be the reason that he misses the free throw in the fourth quarter and loses a game. But I tell you what, excited about going to see the Panthers of Rappahannock tomorrow night. Excited for you to break this record. Excited for the postseason. I hope you guys keep me covering games until mid-March at least, and I'm looking so forward to it. Folks, hope you get out there if you can, out to Rappahannock tonight. We're going to air this episode a day early on Tuesday and want you to drive out to Rappahannock, be at the game tomorrow night. I believe it's a 7:30 tip time at the Panthers, and the Dogs will be in Bull Run District action. And we're going to close out here today telling you that if you like the episode, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. We want to say thank you to Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind behind the camera and in the editing room this week. And as we close out each and every episode, make sure you go down to the Page County Animal Shelter and help one of our furry friends find a forever home. For Craig Tutt and Matthew Owens, I'm Randy Arrington from the Luray High School Gymnasium saying, enjoy that Page Valley living and go Bulldogs.